Hi everyone, hope you're doing fine. Once again, it's Abu Zayd. I'm a full stack software developer and founder of Accentrium. Accentrium teaches people how to speak the English language exactly like a native, the accent and everything, that what Accentrium does. A few days ago, I was in a room with two friends and, good friends who are respected friends, and we got talking and about the situation of things in the country, and I made a statement about my own experience with Nigerian youth regarding software development. I said that a lot of Nigerian youngsters who post to be developers don't understand software development to the core, and I had to make my point, pack a punch. I had to cite examples that there was a time I was on Slack. Slack is like a chat application where it's strictly meant for developers. You find developers there, designers, UI, UX, etc. So I was on Slack, and I think in a channel and where people can showcase their works. And this channel is, populated by Nigerians. So I saw people, my co-countrymen, youngsters showcasing their project. This is my past project and all that, and I went through some of their projects, look at them, some site and some, application, etc. And I wasn't really, excited by, what I feasted my eyes on. And you will see some of these guys saying that I've spent 3, 4, 5 years in software development. And even I could recall there was a guy who said he had worked before at Andela. And I was like, even with the fact that you've worked at Andela before, your design still sucks. Even I, as a then, haven't had much experience yet, maybe perhaps just a year into my software development journey. I was a newbie in the company, but I felt, no, I can't even design things like this. This sucks. And I had to tell my friend that I was disappointed that at these developers, these are the same guys who go out there and say, hire me, I'm a developer, etc., etc. And I also recall a friend of mine who got into the company, got into the industry, and after a couple of months, he was saying that he started out as an intern, okay, not full stack developer like that, just an intern, and they were only paying me stipend at the time. And after a few months, maybe 3 or 4, he was saying that I've exhausted the guys at the company, and it wasn't just straight talking me. He was a person, a very trustworthy person whose words I trust, and he was saying I've used the guys at the company. The meaning is that I've learned everything they know, have every new things that they knew when I was getting into the company that I didn't know. I've learned it from them. Now, there's nothing new could learn from them. Just a few months into the journey, been there at the company. So that means what of this guy, and some of those guys have spent like 3, 4, 5 years in the industry. And I remember there was a time he was complaining bitterly about a friend a co-worker at the office, who said, it was like, you've been around like 3, 4 years in the industry as a developer, and how would you write code like this? He said, no, it works. It's not just about working. You have to write effective code. Your actions, your functions have to be, called in a very fast manner and all that, not just it works. And he was disappointed. And I was also trying to express my disappointment to the friend in the room. And when I said a lot of Nigerians, who are supposed to be the developers, youngsters, youth, they don't know software development to the core. And if a person could take his time to learn this thing and know it, you always outshine them, at interviews, etc. And a friend in the room said something, that was very deep. He said, no, not just software development. An average Nigerian youth doesn't know anything. Most of them don't know anything. Come to designs, come to anything, they don't know it. And the whole thing boils down to what's the cause of this? Very simple. It's distractions. It's distractions. There are a lot of distractions out there. Look at nudity in the street. When you go out there on the street, a lot of girls dressed, half dressed. Some even you feel that you are a nightclub. Sometimes on the street, an average Nigerian youth gets carried away by this. Also, think about music. How much millions go into the music industry and how it affects the youth. An average youth burn a sizable number of hours into music or on music, and every single week, virtually every single week, and every single week, he burns his hours into music or on music. Fashion is there, football is there, betting is there, you know, chilling around, and so many distractions. So to say focus on something and learn it and perfect it, it's a big deal now. This should be a time. This should be a time for this era should produce more millionaires or billionaires, you know, than any other era in the history. Because of the internet, you can easily connect with the people around the world, anywhere you can exhaust the market. Yet, the productivity is just going down and down, nosediving every single day. So the smart ones, if you are listening to this, you have the opportunity to stumble on this. This is my advice for you. If you could stay aloof of these distractions, if you could be very hard on yourself, if you're not hard on yourself, you had a hard life. So if you're ready to be hard on yourself and get rid of these distractions, you don't get carried away by music, you don't get carried away by girls, nudity on street, etc., and fashion, etc., and you're able to learn to perfect that thing you're learning, you would, before you know it, you would have outshone multitudes of youth who are your competitors, okay? And you'll be so surprised at the interview. You just outdaze a lot of people. If you're at the market, making sales on the internet, you just be outdazing these people just because they can stay focused, because they are overwhelmed and carried away, being by these distractions. Let me give you an example. There, I had an experience with Canva design. I had a course recently, and I saw how the app works, and the tool. I saw it there's a small tool, a tiny tool that you can use to come up with beautiful designs. So I was like, and what actually drew me into that was a lot of designs that we see around by Nigerians, their designs usually suck. Okay, it's not something that really appealed to me. Yet they want you to pay them, 3,000 per design, 5,000, etc. Yet their designs are not amazing. Just a very few of them design well. So I was part into learning, taking a course on design. And when I went through the tutorial, like 14-day, course and training on how to design, I was like, so this is the whole thing. And I was able to come up with amazing designs myself. So it got me thinking that, so yet most of those guys still design, rush. And some of them, that's the only thing they're doing. The only thing is doing is design. His major skill is design, yet his design sucks. He could have spent a year in the field, trying to learn, but he would never practice adequately because of distractions, because of girls, because of, club, because of music, movies, comedies, and so on and so forth. So, and I was like, you don't need to spend 2 years, sorry, 2 months, 3 months while learning to design with Canva before you can do well. Because I didn't even spend up to a month before I was able to come up with my own amazing designs. I was not even designing every single day, like for a month, just one design. And one design shouldn't take you more than 2 hours or thereabout, or even less than that. Yet, because I have a lot of other things I was doing, I just wanted to have the skill and how to learn it. So if the state of the youth, the state of the youth of this era could be like this, then the smart ones have a very bright chance to, outdaze a lot of these P guys, with just bit of effort. In those days, there were no distractions like that. Before you can get to the top, before you can get your voice heard, you have to work hard, way harder than what you have now. But now, you look at a person that is not, he himself is not really serious. He's not someone who is extraordinary, really extraordinarily working hard, yet he's outdating people. People seem to be, wow, the best in so and so thing. Again, just because the competition is it's not really amazing. The competition is not hot. Okay, so if you hear people make a lot of noises online and all that, they are also overwhelmed by distractions. They are victims of the distraction we're talking about. Okay, so the simple message to you is that you take your time, take advantage of these distractions. While other people are distracted, you take your time to learn what you want to learn and outdays them. Okay, and I think one of the easiest way to stay aloof of distraction, music, for example, girls, for example, dating, courtship, betting, movies, etc., is to know that God hates it. If you know that Allah hates this thing, in Islam, music is haram. In Islam, dating, courtship is haram. Betting, movies, watching movies, movies that we have today where you have, nude girls, always there. It's haram in Islam. If a person, as a Muslim, if I were to know that this thing is haram, then nothing could keep me away from all these things, distractions, than knowing that he hungers your Lord, okay? So that's the point I'm trying to make here. So this distraction should give you an edge over them. That's the message.